by your admission, there were media reports of a terror-related event. And that media report, according to CTV, unless you're questioning their integrity now.
Where'd it come from?
Came from security officials in the Trudeau government.
Oh.
So do you think the CTV was irresponsible in putting out that tweet?
November 22nd, 2023, there's an accident at the border. There's a car coming from the U.S. It goes into, I think it makes it into Canada, hits a booth of some sort. It explodes. A couple people die. And there's word, people are floating around the word terrorism. So on that date, Pierre Poilievre, he brings it up in the House of Commons. This is what he says.
Mr. Speaker, we've just heard media reports of a terrorist attack, an explosion at the Niagara crossing of the Canada-U.S. border. At least two people are dead. One is injured. Can the Prime Minister give us an update on what he knows?
Anything wrong with that? No, of course not. Breakfast television. Listen to what all of these people have to say about Poilievre. This is what grosses me out. This is what gets me worked up.
So it felt like longer ago. So last Wednesday, that accident at the border took place.
Yes.
Where there was the vicious car accident with the Bentley, and no one in the moment knew what was going on. Not you, I, our elected officials, nobody knew. So I'm following that like everyone else as it's happening. And question period begins 2:15 in the House of Commons in Ottawa. And Pierre Poilievre gets up as official leader of the opposition. The second point Pierre Poilievre raised was he said, according to broadcast reports, this was a terrorist attack. I was following that story like everyone else in the moment. And one of the rare moments, we all kind of knew the same thing roughly, because no one knew anything. The only outlet that was reporting a terrorist attack at that time was Fox News. So Pierre Poilievre got up in question period and cited this report. Now, the next day, in an exchange with a Canadian Press reporter, he was asked if that was appropriate to just toss around media reports when really Justin Trudeau and his cabinet were learning on the fly what was going on here. And the exchange was fascinating. Take a look.
Before we take a look, question period on that day, there was a delay, bit of a large delay. It didn't start on time. He wants you to think that Poilievre just got this from Fox News. And apparently, it's really bad to watch Fox News. This is what his point, that's what he's trying to get across. He's obsessed with protecting Trudeau.
Do you think it was responsible for you to call yesterday's explosion by the checkpoint at the Rainbow Bridge terrorism when no U.S. or Canadian officials said that was or authorities said that was the case, and when the New York governor also said there was no evidence to suggest terrorism activity?
Actually, you're wrong. You're with CP? Okay, so CP, by the way, CP, just for everyone's knowledge, did have to make three
corrections. How's his tone, guys? Sounds pretty nice. Sounds pretty soft.
Corrections for falsehoods that they put into a single article. I think that might be unprecedented. I'm actually thinking about checking with the Guinness Book of World Records to see if there's ever been a news agency that has had to issue 3 corrections for patent falsehoods that they admit they had been made in one single article, and now you've made yet another falsehood in your question.
He went on to cite the CTV report in terms of what he was raising in the House of Commons. CTV had not released a report at that point. They did about 20 minutes after that. But in
see, really? Is that what you think?
The moment, again, this was a Fox News report, and I understand someone who wants to be the Prime Minister of the country not wanting to be the Fox News citing person. I get that. But
see, there's so much there, right? He's making fun of them for possibly watching Fox News. What is wrong with watching Fox News? What's wrong with listening to both sides? You know, for years I thought Trump was a Russian spy because of CNN. Why wouldn't I watch Fox News? Do you actually think there was a delay, guys? We don't even really know what time Poilievre. He doesn't know exactly what time Poilievre spoke at. There was media reports, and it wasn't just Fox News. CTV reported government officials were operating under the assumption of a terror-related event. Global, potential terrorist attack. Toronto Star used word terrorism. CNN, possible terrorist attack. Associated Press and Fox used the word terrorism. But he brings up Fox News. Why? Obsessed with protecting Trudy. That's what this breakfast television is all about. This is what Canadian news is all about. This is what journalists do. This is why nobody trust what these people have to say.
I get that. But that's how that played out. Who would like...
That's how that played out, guys. That's how that played out.
I'll start by
We don't-
saying that
she
there
says nothing.
has been, over the last few years, this consistent attack on the media. And right
No
there,
kidding.
that question was asked. Instead of addressing the question itself, it goes on to attack the agency.
Such an attack, right? Such an attack. He's stating the truth. There was media reports. CP News, she was from CP News, that reporter, and he's just letting her know, hey, you guys screwed up 3 times. And your question is even wrong.
Or this consistent narrative that the media is putting out falsehoods on purpose.
Yeah.
And this
On purpose. Why even bringing this stupidity up? This ain't even news. I can't even believe I'm talking about it. It gets better.
whole fake news situation that we've been hearing about, ever since the
Doesn't
pandemic
exist.
began, where it's just something that's being fed, and I
Fed.
don't
Who's feeding it?
agree at all. Obviously, as someone who does news every day,
What?
Completely agree, Tammy. It's also, it's
Tammy.
not just what was said, it's also sort of how it was being said and the tone in which it was being said. I mean, it's one
She didn't like his tone. Believe it.
thing if that's the opinion that he holds, but the tone didn't work for me
Doesn't
when
work
I was
for me.
listening to it. It was aggressive in a way
Aggressive.
that isn't appealing when you're thinking about leadership and you're thinking
It's absolutely appealing, and it's refreshing to finally see.
healing when you're thinking about leadership and you're thinking about dissent and you're thinking about conversations that need to have. So it was the way it was said too that
was the way.
caused me some pause.
Devo?
I would say the reporter,
This
and
guy.
my apologies, I don't recall the person's name right now. The way she asked the
Apologies,
question
accepted.
was incredible. She said, "Do you think it was
incredible.
responsible?" That was the question. He already premeditated what he wanted to say to CP.
Oh, he was bracing,
Because you don't
for sure.
rhyme off what you just rhymed off without having that ready to go. So he knew as soon as she asked the question that was going to be his response, no matter what. He was just waiting for a moment to attack.
Attack. What an
Some people
attack it
like
was.
that in their leader, to be condescending and aggressive with their words. We've seen that south of the border. That
What's wrong with south of the border?
doesn't work for me. I'm not a big fan of that.
No, it doesn't work for me.
But you didn't answer the question, dude.
You didn't answer the question, dude. You know why? You know why he's saying that? Because they didn't finish the rest of the clip, which I'm going to later. He does answer it.
Just asked if it was responsible. You didn't answer yes or no on that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like the
course you are.
polls that are out right now, we've cited them numerous times. These are not I love Pierre Poilievre polls. These are Trudeau fatigue numbers, plus the economy.
He just throws that out there, right? Plus the economy. Why is the economy the way it is? It's because of Trudeau. You shut down the world because of COVID. Bonnie Henry said I couldn't sing in a bar. Do you know how many businesses suffered? The economy took a huge blow because of Trudeau.
That's a level of exhaustion day in and day out I don't need
Oh,
in a party leader. Say what you want about Justin
you can't take it.
Trudeau. He's not perfect. I don't get that tone a lot.
He's far from perfect, man. He called me racist. He said I hated women because I supported the truckers.
And I don't need that tone. I've seen that tone with our neighbors. I don't need that tone at all.
He doesn't need that tone, you big baby. You big baby. You don't need that tone. It's what we want to hear.
Somebody needs to talk to him.
Somebody needs to talk to him. Somebody needs to sit him down.
Like that's the speed he knows. Like that's been his life experience at that as a professional. Finally, I need to know when you're talking to China as a leader of this country,
What?
what's that going to be like? If that gets
Well, if he talks to China, they'll have a translator. That's what it's going to be like. What are you talking about? You want Trudy to talk to China? How's that going? You want Trudy to talk to the rest of the world? We're getting mopped up. We're embarrassing. We look like fools. They all look at Trudeau like a weak man. How's that going to look like? Wouldn't you rather have a strong man?
Are you kidding me?
Huh?
Are you kidding me as a party leader, as a world leader, as a G7, G12 leader?
What?
There's time to round out those edges.
What the hell is he talking about? What the hell is he what's it? The reporter asked him, don't you think it's irresponsible that you said it was terrorism? And Poilievre just said, I didn't say it was. I said there was media reports. So this guy right here said, He didn't even answer the question. Well, that's because they cut the clip off. Let's watch the rest of the clip.
Where you are wrong is that CTV reported that the government of Canada was presuming that the incident was terrorist. So, yeah, that's what I said in my remarks. You're right. It was a media report.
But it's citing media reports and not.
Which is what I said. In the House, I said there are media reports.
She just said, and you think that's a responsible thing to go on? That statement at the time?
What kind of statement? I didn't.
Calling something terrorist, she said. I didn't.
I said there were media reports. No, there's no distinction. What I said, and I was right, was that there were media reports of a terror-related event.
Yeah.
By your admission, there were media reports of a terror-related event. And that media report, according to CTV, unless
Listen
you're
to this.
questioning their integrity now,
Where'd it come from?
came from security officials in the Trudeau government.
Oh.
So do you think the CTV was irresponsible in putting out that tweet?
Do you think it was responsible?
I've already
Sorry, I'm
answered
asking, I have already answered that.
Yep. See, he answered the question, guys. See what they do?
Do you think CTV was irresponsible to put that tweet out? Well, you just did comment. Okay. So, I just hope you're not going to print something that you have to apologize for again. I should also add, I think CP does work for CTV. So this is very awkward now, where we have CP attacking someone that they do work for. CTV is a client of CP, and now we have CP attacking CTV's reporting. This is a very awkward issue. I don't know if there's a way that the two news agencies can sort that out.
When I see 4 people sitting on a couch saying how bad this guy is, after what we've just been through with the other guy, they're not for Canada. They're just not. They can't be. You should be all for this guy. You should but they don't even like what he says. I don't like that tone. It's too aggressive. It's just, he's just too aggressive. Don't you take that tone with me. We heard enough south of the border with that tone. How's it working out for them? Anyways. Stupid. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
What's happening?